If you're watching this in February, what I'm about to tell you will explain why you've been feeling that strange pull in your spirit, that unexplainable restlessness that wakes you at odd hours, that sensation of being on the edge of something you can't name but desperately need. Because February isn't just another month for you. It's the appointed time when everything you've been silently begging the universe for finally finds its way to your door. And I need you to understand that the heaviness you've been carrying, the weight that sits on your chest when you're alone, the ache that lives so deep inside you that you've stopped trying to explain it to people who could never understand, all of it has been preparing you for what's about to unfold in ways that will leave you breathless, shaking your head in disbelief, whispering thank you to a power you thought had forgotten your name. And I know you've heard promises before. I know you've hoped before, only to have that hope shatter into pieces so sharp they cut you from the inside. I know you've stood at the window of your own life, watching everyone else receive what you've been praying for, while you stand there empty-handed, invisible, wondering what you did wrong, wondering why you're not enough, wondering if maybe you're being punished for something you can't even remember. But what you don't know, what you couldn't possibly see from where you've been standing in your pain, is that every single moment of delay was strategic. Every closed door was protection. Every person who walked away was making room. Every dream that died was clearing space for something so much bigger that your old vision couldn't have contained it. And February is significant because it's the month of the broken becoming whole, the forgotten becoming remembered, the invisible becoming undeniable. And you reading these words right now in this exact moment is not random, not coincidence, not just another video you stumbled across. This is the universe, reaching through the noise, to grab your attention, to shake you awake, to tell you that your season of waiting just ended, that the door you've been standing in front of for what feels like forever is swinging open right now, whether you can see it yet or not. You need to hear something that might hurt before it heals. You've been measuring your worth by all the wrong things. You've been letting people who are half as committed tell you that you're too much. You've been dimming your light so others won't feel uncomfortable in their darkness. You've been apologizing for needing what every human being needs: to be seen, to be chosen, to matter, to belong. And somewhere along the way, you started believing the lie that your pain disqualifies you, that your mistakes define you, that your past determines your future, that your brokenness makes you unworthy of the very things your soul was designed to experience. But February is stripping away every false narrative, every toxic belief, every limitation you placed on yourself because of what someone else said or didn't say, did or didn't do. And I know it's scary to hope again. I know it feels dangerous to open your heart when it's barely healed from the last time it was shattered. I know you've built walls so high that even good things can't climb over them anymore. But those walls that you thought were protecting you have actually been imprisoning you, keeping you locked inside with all the pain you're trying to keep out. And what's happening this month is that something larger than your fear is dismantling those walls brick by brick, not to leave you exposed, but to finally let you breathe, to finally let you receive, to finally let you experience what it feels like to stop fighting and start living. Because you've been in survival mode for so long that you forgot what it's like to actually thrive. You've been so focused on just making it through the day that you stopped believing you could enjoy the day. You've been so convinced that struggle is your identity, that you don't know who you'd be without it. But here's what I need you to understand with every fiber of your being. The version of you that needed the struggle is dying. And I know that sounds frightening because that version of you is all you've known. But death of the old self is the only way the new self can emerge. And the new you that's being born in this season doesn't know how to beg, doesn't know how to shrink, doesn't know how to accept less than what their soul requires. This new version walks differently, talks differently, sets boundaries differently, loves differently, receives differently. And the transition is uncomfortable because you're being stretched beyond the shape you've held for so long. You're being pulled out of patterns that felt like home even though they were actually prisons. You're being asked to release people and things and versions of yourself that you've clung to because letting go feels like death. And it is death, but it's the kind of death that leads to resurrection. The kind of ending that's actually a beginning, the kind of loss that's actually gain. And February is your resurrection month, the month when what was dead starts breathing again, when what was buried breaks through the surface, when what was forgotten gets remembered by the very forces that orchestrate miracles. You're going to see things start to shift in ways you can't manufacture or manipulate. You're going to watch doors open that you didn't knock on. You're going to experience favor that you didn't earn. You're going to receive apologies you stopped expecting. You're going to feel peace you thought was impossible. You're going to know love you convinced yourself you didn't deserve. And I need to tell you about 3 specific things that are going to happen before this month ends. 3 markers that will prove to you this message found you because it was meant to find you. First, someone from your past is going to reach out, not to take from you, but to acknowledge what they took, not to ask for more, but to finally see what they overlooked. And whether you choose to engage or not, their appearance is confirmation that the scales are balancing, that what was stolen is being returned, that your value is being recognized even by those who once denied it. Second, an opportunity is going to present itself that sounds too good to be true. And your first instinct will be to doubt it, to look for the catch, to protect yourself from disappointment. But this time, the opportunity is real, and it's yours. And it's arriving not because you chased it, but because you're finally ready to receive it. And third, you're going to have a moment, maybe when you're alone, maybe in the middle of something ordinary, where you suddenly feel it. The shift, the release, the peace, the knowing. And in that moment, you'll understand that everything really did change, that you really are different, that the old cycle really did break. These 3 signs are your confirmation, your evidence, your proof that February is exactly what I'm telling you it is. Now listen carefully, because what I'm about to say is the key to unlocking everything that's trying to reach you. You have to stop being loyal to your suffering. You have to stop rehearsing your pain like it's the only story you know how to tell. You have to stop bonding with people over trauma and start connecting over triumph. You have to stop wearing your wounds like badges and start letting them become scars that prove you survived. Because as long as you're more comfortable in pain than in peace, as long as you're more familiar with lack than with abundance, as long as you're more practiced at losing than at winning, you'll sabotage every good thing that tries to stay. And I'm not saying this to shame you, I'm saying this to free you. Because you've been keeping yourself small to make other people comfortable. You've been staying stuck to prove you're loyal to the people who are stuck with you. You've been rejecting blessings because you don't think you deserve them, or because you're afraid of what others will say, or because you've convinced yourself that struggle is more noble than success. But nobility isn't found in unnecessary suffering. It's found in having the courage to heal, to grow, to change, to become. And February is giving you permission to become, to transform, to evolve into the version of yourself that you've been catching glimpses of in your quiet moments. The version that whispers, "What if?" The version that still dreams even when dreams feel foolish. You know what's remarkable about you? What makes you different from people who gave up long ago? You're still here, still reading, still hoping, even if it's just the tiniest flicker. Still believing there might be something more. Even though you've been disappointed so many times, that disappointment feels like a default setting. That flicker is stronger than you realize. It's the eternal part of you that cannot be killed by circumstances, cannot be destroyed by betrayal, cannot be extinguished by loss. It's the part of you that's connected to something infinite, something divine, something that knows who you are even when you forget, something that's been guiding you even when you felt lost. And that part of you has been waiting for February, for this exact moment, for these exact words to awaken something that's been dormant, to activate something that's been sleeping, to ignite something that's been waiting for permission to burn. If you're feeling something right now, if there's warmth spreading through your chest, if there are tears forming that you didn't call for, if there's a knowing rising up that you can't explain logically, then you need to do something to anchor this moment, to seal what's happening, to participate in your own breakthrough. Subscribe to this channel, because this isn't just content. It's a lifeline, a community, a frequency that you need to stay connected to as you navigate this transformation. And share this message with exactly 11 people, not because it's magic, but because in the act of giving hope to others, you multiply your own. You become a vessel. You step into your purpose as someone who doesn't just receive breakthrough, but spreads it. And if your heart is moved, there's a link in the description where you can contribute whatever feels right, knowing that every single cent goes directly to feeding children who are hungry, turning your moment of blessing into someone else's meal, but only if you feel called. Only if it's authentic. No pressure, no obligation, just opportunity. Because what's happening right now is bigger than you. You're part of a wave of people who are waking up in February, who are stepping out of old stories, who are claiming new identities, who are refusing to stay small, who are choosing to believe again even though belief has cost them before. And as you align with this movement, as you say yes to your transformation, as you open your hands to receive what's coming, you're going to notice things start to happen quickly. Conversations will shift, opportunities will appear, relationships will clarify, resources will flow, ideas will come, energy will return, joy will surface, peace will settle. And it won't be because you worked harder or performed better. It will be because you finally aligned with your truth, with your worth, with your season. February is your month of alignment, where everything that's meant for you finds you, where everything that's not meant for you falls away, where you stop forcing and start flowing, where you stop chasing and start attracting, where you stop begging and start receiving. And when this month ends, and you look back at the person you were when February began, you won't recognize them. You'll see someone who was barely holding on, someone who was questioning everything, someone who was tired in their bones, someone who had almost given up. And you'll feel such compassion for that version of you because they carried you here. They survived everything they needed to survive to become who you are now. They didn't know that breakthrough was this close. They couldn't see that the darkest hour really does come before dawn. But you made it. You're here. You're reading this. You're feeling this. You're receiving this. And what's about to unfold in your life is going to make every tear worth it. Every sleepless night worth it. Every moment of doubt worth it. Every season of waiting worth it. Because you're not just getting what you asked for, you're getting what you needed. And those are two very different things. What you asked for was limited by what you could imagine. But what you needed is limited only by what infinite love can provide. And infinite love is providing for you right now. Making ways where there were no ways. Opening doors that were bolted shut. Turning hearts that were stone cold. Restoring years that were stolen. Redeeming pain that felt pointless. Your February is pregnant with miracles that are about to be born. With promises that are about to manifest. With dreams that are about to materialize. And all you have to do is stay open. Stay expectant. Stay ready. Because ready or not, here it comes. Here you come. Here the new life comes rushing in like a flood that washes away everything that wasn't built to last and establishes everything that was always meant to be. You are loved beyond measure. You are seen beyond what's visible. You are held beyond what you feel. You are becoming beyond what you imagine. This is your February. This is your moment. This is your breakthrough. This is your time. Amen.